Hit it.
There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty baby, you are the soul that snaps my control. Such a funny thing that every time I'm near you, I never can behave. You give me a smile and then I'm wrapped up in your magic. There's music all around me, crazy music. Music that keeps calling me so.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, family. You are now listening to your favorite girl, Spirit Child, in the house. We're doing a different little set this evening. I would love to introduce you to Spirit Speaks. Got some of that live jazz for your bones going on in the background. And tonight will be our inaugural guest, Miss Phyllis Persely-Scott, is in the house this evening. Hopefully, she will give us a couple of those lively bars from those wonderful vocal cords over there. And we're also going to get into just a little bit about the new segment that I'm introducing called Finding Ourselves. There'll be segments from some of my close friends and family talking about the journey from where they were to who they are right now, and the trials and some of the triumphs that they've had propelling them into a new paradigm. So, without further ado, Phyllis, girlfriend, talk to the family. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello, family. Let's just reiterate, I am Phyllis Persely-Scott, and I am just so grateful to be here today. To be here with Spirit Child, and I am looking forward to us just having a dialogue.
Wonderful.
Oh, you want to know who I am?
I want to know
what's my story.
What is your story?
It's a deep story, but it's a story nonetheless. Phyllis Persely. Let's start there.
Phyllis Persely, okay.
Phyllis Persely, born in Texas, the oldest of 4 kids, and let's just say my dad was determined to have his daughters be strong. And he raised me to be a very strong individual. My job as a family member was to not only know the finances of the family, but to take care of the family and to keep the family together, just in case something happened to him. And that's pretty much how I've been all my life. It hasn't been about having fun. It's always been about being responsible. And then comes the Phyllis Persely-Scott.
Okay.
Where you become the wife and the mother and the one that's still responsible for another set of individuals. But this is who I am. I am a professional. I own my own business, but that's what pays the money. That's what pays the bills.
Okay.
But my passion is song, is Tiffany Blue. That's the passion. That's what I love to do. What is it that I'm about? It's about knowledge. It's about education. It's about help. It's about strength. It's about empowerment. It's about love with no apologies. And I think in a nutshell, that's who I am.
Wonderful. Now, that's a great intro, but I'm going to probe you.
Probe?
And as we say at the government job, we're going to dig a little bit deeper.
I got you.
So, Phyllis Persely, strong, independent, and responsible. You said that was your dad's determination. So it sounds like he was definite in his purpose, because the Phyllis Persely that I know, even though I've only known you for a short few years, I can definitely see that. But in the midst of Phyllis Persely, what do you feel were some of the challenges that you had to overcome as Phyllis Persely?
Some of the challenges probably would be, a girl in a man's world. But here's the deal, though. It was such an awesome experience. I mean, my dad was in corporate America. He raised his daughters knowing and thinking that they could do anything. If you were to tell me I couldn't do something, that just lets me know I'm going to do it, just to prove to you. I mean, my dad was one of the few African Americans with Zales Corporation managing the marketing department. He was one of the people that designed the Olympics. So to see that just transferred to me, saying, you know what, if my dad could do those things, I can do those things too. So some of the challenges would probably be, I don't like failing. And oftentimes you have to be okay with failing to accomplish new things. It can't always be easy. You can't always be perfect. And I think that would be one of the challenges, because I always wanted to be perfect. When I took tennis lessons, I always wanted to be perfect. I wanted to have a perfect swing. I don't like not being perfect. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, that then you're concerned more with how other people perceive you, how other people see how you're hitting that ball, what your overhand looks like, what your backhand looks like, instead of learning the process and not caring about what others think. So I think that would be the challenge. Not liking to fail, caring about what others think about you. That was the Phyllis Persely. Always worried about something being perfect. I would never get up and sing in front of somebody if I did not know all the words. If I didn't know the musicians on the stage, if I didn't think somebody on that stage knew what I was doing, I would not do it, because it wouldn't be perfect. But then you move forward and you're like, wow, how many opportunities did I miss because I was so concerned about something being perfect, about failing, about what others think. So those, I think, would be the three biggest challenges of Phyllis Persely.
Interesting that you say that. So the Phyllis Persely that I know was also not only an accomplished vocalist, but it's my understanding that you played an instrument. Is that correct?
I did play an instrument.
So
and I played it well.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Because it had to be perfect.
It had to be perfect.
Yes.
So tell the family how many, or were there multiple instruments that you played?
Multiple instruments. When we were in New York, the strings was everything. Didn't really know anybody that played in the band, any kind of brass or woodwind instruments. It was all strings. So there, I honed my skills. I was so excited when we found out that we were moving to Texas. I thought, I'm just gonna blossom. I'm gonna just show people what I know. Came down here, very few schools had an orchestra, so I had to learn to play. My mother played woodwind instruments, and over the weekend, this is not a lie, over the weekend, my mother taught me how to play the clarinet. I tried out for the band. I got second period band. I did not like that. I wanted first period band. So I practiced that clarinet, and the next semester I was in first period band. And I could have just given up on music. They didn't have an orchestra, so just give up and just focus on school. But I love music so much that I learned how to play that. So I played the violin, the viola, the bass clarinet, and the clarinet. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I have at least two guitars in the back. And guitar.
And that too.
Oh, you played the guitar too?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I have two guitars and Guitar Hero. and I can't hit a stroke. I tell myself, as my better half would say, I be mine effing myself, that I'm going to be an accomplished musician. But in my mind, I said, one of these days I'm going to retire, and then I'm going to play it all day long, so much to the point you're going to be sick of it.
Just practice. You don't learn things by osmosis. It's got to have action. You can have an interest in something, or you can be committed to something. And I heard that over the last couple of days, because we can either be goal setters or doers. You can set a goal, but you may never accomplish it because you were never committed. You were interested in it, but you were never committed. So, Spirit, commit to learning to play that guitar and practicing it, and you will be able to play that guitar.
You know what? I receive that.
Receive it, my sister. Receive it.
I receive that. And maybe as I'm listening to Dr. Lipton's episodes on quantum biology, it will soothe my soul.
There you go. No worries. Just do.
Absolutely. So, friends, this is kind of how the segment will go moving forward. Just a simple conversation without pretense. You are listening to Spirit Child, and this is Spirit Speaks. So, we've been talking to Mrs. Phyllis Persely-Scott. That sounds like you would actually be friends with the Howells off of Gilligan's Islands. I like how that rolls off of your tongue. So a question that a lot of women have when they are getting into the nuptials is the hyphenated name. What made you decide to keep Persely and add your married name of Scott?
Oh my, you ask a really good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. It's because I started off as a Persely and I ended up as a Scott. And both people had to try to get that degree. So that's the reason why. It wasn't just a married person. It was Persely-Scott. I didn't even think twice about it. I knew that's what I wanted.
Wow. Now that's interesting that you said that, because I've never heard just as simple as an explanation as that. And no disrespect, period. I've heard other women say that they've kept it because it sounded distinguished and they were a person before they existed, and they're still the same person after they get married. And I wouldn't debate that because I think it's a matter of personal choice. How did Mr. Scott feel about the hyphenated name?
I don't even know if I asked.
Okay.
So I may need to ask. He would probably say, I wouldn't expect it any other way. I mean, it was, I think there were other people that had the conversation, some, women, old school, that just thought, it's Phyllis-Scott, that's your name. But after conversations, and it was a struggle. I mean, when you're you're paying your own way, you don't have anybody paying your bills for you. I paid those bills. I went to work. I walked to Burger King. I paid my tuition. So I think that's why it was an easy decision to use my maiden name and hyphen married name.
Interesting. So now, do the children carry that as well, or are they just Scots?
They're Scots.
They're Scots.
They're all Scots.
Okay, so no, Kanye or Kim and Kanye? You know how the famous movie stars kind of morph into different people.
No.
So I like that.
No.
I like that. I can receive that. Like I said, I've had a number of conversations with different women, and it goes down a little bit different.
Yes, so we don't dress alike. We're not Twinkies. We have our own personalities.
No garanimals.
No garanimals. No. No. We know who we are. We don't have to wear T-shirts and signs to show other people who we are.
So it sounds like, for as much as you are a part of Phyllis Persely-Scott, that you are still definitely Phyllis Persely.
No doubt.
Okay, wonderful.
No doubt.
So I want to move into, because you noticed I kept this line of questioning quite simple.
Yes, you did.
But there are ample opportunities. So if you feel like you want to chime in something that you want the family to know,